Whenever we're stressed out, we can come either from a brain perspective as far as, just trying to shift things and not use energy techniques to go with it, or we can support it by using our whole neurology and then being able to shift it that way. And so the technique that I want to show you, it's called whole brain posture. And again, I've learned this several years ago. And what whole brain posture does, it balances the left and right hemisphere. It activates them, actually. And there's a specific way of doing it that's not usually always taught this way, but I want to go ahead and show you because when you activate it in that way, it's really powerful. And so right now, I know, personally from my experience, and then many of you, we're all going through this together right now, and we're all having different levels of being able to handle the situation, and then sometimes, maybe not as well. So we all kind of go through the motions and emotions. And when we have beautiful tools available that we can tap into, then it makes our life so much more easier. And this is a technique, again, that I've learned many years ago and that I use for myself whenever I need to find a balance within me. And again, it activates the hemispheres of the brain. It balances the hemispheres. And not only that, what it will also do is it brings you naturally to a calm center, just because you're activating your heart chakra as you're doing this as well. So this will probably be about 5-ish minutes or so that we're going to go ahead and do that. You want to sit comfortably, because you're going to be crossing your legs over each other, and then you're also going to be doing something with your hands as well. And I'll go ahead and get into that with you. Okay, so the very first thing that you want to do is kind of test out for a moment, because we all have our preferences. For some of us, putting our left leg over the right leg, meaning the knee over the other knee, is going to be more comfortable. For some of us, the right over the left is going to be more comfortable. So for a moment, just test and see, when you're crossing your knees, your legs over each other, what's your natural way of doing it. So that's the very first thing. So for me, the natural way is the left over the right. And so now what I want to do instead then, and by the way, if there's any discomfort for you, then don't worry about it. You can do this technique without necessarily crossing the legs over each other, but you can also do it with just your calves, for example, too, just to kind of find, which way feels better for you. And then once you figure out, okay, this is my natural way of doing it, now go ahead and reverse it and actually do the other way. And that's part of activating new pathways, and that's what we're going to be doing. So very first thing, go ahead and do the opposite of what usually feels comfortable for you. So now that you have your legs crossed like this, now the next thing you want to do is reach out your arms for a moment. And again, we have like a way of doing it. So for me, again, left over right would be the natural way of doing it. So now instead, I want to go ahead and take my right hand and do that instead, and go ahead and go this way. And so now that I have them, so it looks like this, I'm crossing them, and then I'm going like this. So I'm going from here inward. And so the minute I do this now, I already kind of begin, because it's just such a natural process for my body, where it just knows that something is being activated. And the more you do it, the more you feel it. So for a moment now, as you're doing this, go ahead and just close your eyes and just check in with your body and feel all the feelings for a moment. Feel the feelings of anxiety, feel any stressors that are in your body at this moment. Feel whatever is coming up for you. Just simply allow. Don't try to push it away or hide anything. Just simply let it be. And then just focus on that sensation with your hands near your heart, and that inward focus that you're doing right now. This technique is actually a very powerful protective technique, which not many people talk about, but this is exactly what it does, because it helps you bring everything in. It kind of gives your chakras a shelter, where it actually encloses them for a moment and folds everything inward. So as you're sitting here, kind of folded inward, bringing your chakras into your center for yourself, and you're feeling all the emotions and all the feelings that are coming up, simply let it be. Allow, and then just take a couple of deep breaths in and out and just breathe through it. And as you're doing this, there's a natural feeling that will arise from it. There might still be emotions coming up, and that can be totally natural. So if that's the case, then simply let them emerge. Whatever needs to release from your system may surface right now. And then you'll notice that this beautiful shift begins to happen, where all of a sudden there's a certain sense of calm that comes over you, a sense of peace, because now you're in your center. You are in you, and that is always a peaceful place, because from here whole universes are created. So you're tapping right into the source of everything. And this is now the place of stillness for you, where you can simply become calm and quiet, and where there truly isn't room for anything else. And then if you like, from this, birth a positive thought, a positive emotion, only if it feels right and if it feels natural and easy. Otherwise, just be still in this for another moment. If anything gets uncomfortable, you can slightly release it. Allow your brain to make new connections at this moment. Allow the newness of this to inform you, inform your mind, your body, your spirit, your mental body, and your inner being. Feeling that stillness and calm. One more minute. And then when you're ready, just simply let go. This may feel a little odd for a moment, so just go ahead and undo everything, your hands and your legs. And then put your hands together like this for just a moment and just comfortably set them down on your knees. Bringing your energy down now through this into your root chakra. Feeling that sense of grounding now. And feeling the difference from just a few moments ago. Okay, and then when you're ready, I'm going to give you all a few moments, and when you're ready, just let me know how you're feeling. How does that feel different from just a few moments ago? What came up for you during this process? And what's your internal state now? So I know for me, whenever I feel any kind of anxiety, I realize that, it's always just that illusion that I'm creating for myself that is not true, that I can choose a different reality in any moment that I like, and that this is not what I need to hold in my vibration if I don't choose to. And for me, that's a calming thought, because sometimes if I can't necessarily change the outside circumstances, sometimes not immediately, sometimes not for a longer time, then for me, this technique always helps me change my internal state. And of course, there are many other techniques that I teach as well in my classes to my clients and in my communities. But this is one that is truly one that connects everything together. And it's just such a quick and really beautiful one. And then once you do it this way, then go ahead and try it the other way where it feels more comfortable for you, and notice the difference with that as well. But again, it is really important, and it really helps to get into the discomfort of it for a moment, and do it the opposite way of how you would usually do it, just because again it creates a new synapses for your brain. It shifts everything around, and it rewires the information in your neurology. And so for that reason, it really helps doing things in reverse. It's a great challenge that you can give to yourself and makes things very effective. And so I know the space that you're holding for yourself and for your communities and for your families. So please, take care of yourself and be and show up, because that's the most important and the most powerful thing that you can do right now. This all will pass. Things will get a little crazier before they get better, but it will all pass. And in the end, this is a new era that we're all ushering in. I know and I believe, and when I tune in to that sacred feminine energy within me, I know that the beautiful spaces that are going to be created from this. And I can't wait to experience this with all of you. I can't wait to see what it's going to bring once we get past all of this here. So please hold your spaces, hold strong. You've got this. Love to all of you, and namaste. Good night.